got this new package from Ride Out Supply. The D-Block's Big Ripper is finally getting some upgrades. I'm actually excited on this package because whenever I get a Big Ripper, this is like one of my favorite upgrades I love to do to the Big Rippers. And if you guys were looking to do some of these upgrades, maybe this video might help you. But one of the main things that I gotta do when I upgrade my Big Rippers, 15 tooth RS free will, it's gonna feel just like how the stock Big Rippers used to come back in the day. These Johns are pretty loud, I'm not gonna lie, they get pretty loud once you break them in. Another one of my favorites, we got ourselves a black Sprocket with the white reflective vinyl over it. So at night when you put a flash on this thing, it's gonna look sick.
The next day.
Today is the day. I'm doing something many people have been asking me to do for the longest. So here's what we got on today's agenda. I know y'all see those rims in the cut, and I know you see those bikes in the back. I've been meaning to do this on a Big Ripper for a long time now, and that is hydro disc brake conversion. I don't know how hard this conversion is gonna be, but today we're gonna be converting the D-Block Big Ripper from mechanical V-brakes to hydraulic disc brakes. All right guys, so we just made it to bicycle. Here's the game plan today. First of all, shout out to my boy Dishmac for donating these TNT M80 rims. These are used. These came off of his old Public Enemy Big Ripper, but I'm like, you know, I'll use them, I'll take them. Appreciate the gift. I'm gonna be using these rims to convert the bike over to hydraulic disc brakes. I got everything I pretty much need in this bag, and I'm gonna be pulling some stuff off of this bike right here. And yeah guys, I'm gonna try my best to install this good. It might work, it might not. At least we tried, you know what I mean? I also need to take off these tires off of this bike. I'm really taking off the whole rims, but I need the tubes out of these rims because I'm going to be putting Maxxis hookworms on this bike, and I'm going to be ditching the whole mechanical V-brake system as well. So this is the stack disc brake adapter that we're going to be using to mount the brakes onto the bike. This is number 8 made. Every bracket is numbered, USA made. Just want to get an idea of where it's going to be at, something like that. I got this disc rotor adapter from, I think I got it off eBay. It was like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, I don't know. Basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna screw it on the hub. So yeah, it screws on, but before I screw it on, I'm gonna be putting some thread locker just for safety measures, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put too much though. All right, adapter's installed, looks good. This is the rotor I'm gonna be installing on the bike. This rotor was too small, so the brake pads barely grabbed the rotor, so I'm gonna have to upsize the rotor. And now I'm going to a 180, and we're gonna throw that on and see if everything fits now. I had to get the master in here because your boy Steez don't even know what he's doing. I'm over here thinking it's rubbing. It is rubbing, but
it's not wanting. Oh, this is still loose over here. But right now,
is it rubbing on the rotor?
Right now, how it is, I don't know if it's because I haven't put pressure to like squeeze the frame again, but it's just rubbing on the inside here.
Yeah.
But you see, the caliper or the bolt's like really close to the rotor. So I don't know if after like tightening it down, I don't know if it's gonna rub on the rotor.
So, and it's already rubbing now. Oh.
Yeah, like right now before like pressing this down, it's rubbing on the adapter, on the caliper, and on the brake.
You think if we tighten it, it'll like straighten up?
That's what
maybe?
I'm thinking. Cause you see how it has this movement? And I feel like tightening it would let the frame would slowly press in.
Rookie Steez, I low-key forgot to install this Ride Out Supply free roll on there. Do that real quick. All right, about 45 to an hour later, I realized that I had too many spacers where the disc brake adapter went, so I removed this off of there. I had this on there. I added it thinking that I needed to add it, but I actually didn't need it, so back to the graveyard it goes. And then I did have to add a spacer on the axle just to keep the mount from rubbing on the brake rotor. And still need some more adjustments, but so now that we got pretty much an idea of how everything is gonna look, take this rim off. I'm gonna install the tubes and some new hookworms. I also need to change this sprocket and install my new Ride Out Supply sprocket. This is a 36-2 sprocket and I have a 33-2 sprocket. And I already dropped it. So I got the rims installed, brakes installed, officially converted the Big Ripper to hydraulic disc brakes. Stoked on that. Now I just need to change the sprocket, pretty much go over everything and make sure nothing's rubbing and try to make sure everything is as smooth as possible. Alright guys, Ride Out Supply sprocket is on. Off camera, I did cut off literally like 2 links. Literally only had to cut off like 2 links, and then I'm gonna just put the chain on. And now this is the part where I gotta make sure nothing is rubbing, everything is adjusted properly to how I want it. Alright guys, got the rim all tightened up. Now a few things I wanna show you guys. When you add this bracket, you're not gonna have a lot of thread left on the bolt because the axle is not long enough for this kind of stuff. You see that bolt? Like, that bolt is covering probably half of the threads. So just make sure you keep an eye on that. Make sure your rim's always tight. This bracket is actually pretty good, like it's not moving or anything. I gotta adjust these brakes so they're not rubbing a lot. But once we do that, I should be able to get a first test ride on this bike today. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with how this came out though. And shout out to my boy Dishmack for the rims too.